Okay, so Gene Hackman died, and I wanted to look at something he was in, memoriam, and I looked at the movie I like the most that he's in, which is Superman the movie from 1978. So I love this movie just before we start, but I want to get straight into the positives. So here are some positives. Best Superman ever. Best live action Superman. Christopher Reeve is perfect. People love Henry Cavill, and I understand why, but I think Christopher Reeve is better. I also think he's better than Brandon Routh, who I did enjoy, not enough to know how to pronounce his name though. I think Corn Sweat will probably be the best, but like just looking at how it is now, Christopher Reeve is the best Superman. Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. I don't think we've ever seen a pitch perfect live action Lois Lane, but I think Margot Kidder is the closest we've gotten. The side characters in this movie are really funny, like Otis, and just like the way the movie sets up with Krypton and Marlon Brando, who was so lazy on set he couldn't memorize his lines, but is all really done well. Metropolis in the movie's great. Like, the chemistry between Superman and Lois is perfect. Not as perfect as on the show, Superman and Lois, but pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty close to a perfect movie. Here are some negatives. And, like, here's the thing. Normally, with, like, movies I really love, I would say there are no negatives. They're just nitpicks that other people would have that aren't me. But with comic book movies, not even comic book movies, I'm not a huge comic book guy. With DC Comics comic book movies, because I don't usually have these problems with Marvel stuff. But I'm a huge DC Comics fan. And with DC Comics movies, even if I love them, there are going to be some problems when it comes to comparing them to the source material. And, okay. Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen in this movie is not how I see Jimmy Olsen. First of all, he's too old. He's like 25. I always assume Jimmy Olsen's like 15. And he's not a ginger, I don't think. Jimmy Olsen is a ginger. Yeah, that's it. He's fine. He's great, actually, but Jimmy Olsen is a ginger, and Jimmy Olsen is 15, not 25. At least in my personal headcanon. And then Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Now, I don't want to talk too eerily of the dead, especially of the person we're supposed to be celebrating. He is a very good Lex Luthor for the Lex Luthor that he's playing. The Lex Luthor he's playing is the Lex Luthor from before DC rebooted the character. This is a real estate mogul Lex Luthor, not a billionaire Lex Luthor. And I'm just so used to the billionaire Lex Luthor and find that character more interesting than this version of Lex Luthor. Gene Hackman is doing a great job with what he's done. It's just not what I like seeing with Lex Luthor. I much prefer Superman the Animated Series Clancy Brown. And we really haven't had that because since Kevin Spacey, who is a terrible human being, but Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns, the Lex Luthor that he was playing was supposed to be the same Lex Luthor as this, so they didn't go in that direction there. And then Jesse Eisenberg, they made him like an evil billionaire, but instead of it being like a Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump-esque billionaire, they made him, what's his fucking face that created Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg. They made him Mark Zuckerberg because Jesse Eisenberg played Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network. But it's like, no. Why is Lex Luthor pissing in jars and putting candy in people's mouths? Anyway, this is not Batman vs. Superman review. But that is a pretty serious problem with that movie. That movie, this Lex Luthor is leagues above that. Jesus, they really ruined in the DC EU. They messed up the Joker and they messed up Lex Luthor, and now we have Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and that should be better. And whoever they cast to be the Joker better be fucking better than Jared Leto. Yeah. So what's the grade? It's an A+. I mean, chef's kiss.